friends. Today I'm getting ready for Christmas with a cute little wood board painting. So instead of painting on a canvas, I'm gonna paint on this little, I think it's a 6 by 12 piece of a board. And I just buy the 4-foot boards from Lowe's, and it's just a nice, it's a cheap one. It's not like super fancy quality wood. But it's fine for painting on. It doesn't have to be the fancy kind. And I buy the 4-foot boards, and then I just have them cut them down from me. And then I get, four little 12-inch pieces out of it. So it's a nice little piece. And then when you're all done with a painting on there, you can drill some holes and then hang a string. So you can hang this on your door. A long, skinny painting, but I'm going to get it set up. And I want it to be a fun little whimsical tree painting. So I kind of have a sketch of what I kind of want the tree to look like, a little bit like this. So just an idea, but I'm going to draw it and work on it in steps as I go. So I got my little Christmas pencil out. I want this background to have some circles. So I'm not going to use any sort of fancy tracing or tools for circles because this is a whimsical. This is silly. This is kind of goofy looking, almost like a little bit like, kind of remind you of the Grinch or some Dr. Seuss stuff. So I'm just going to do some circles, and they don't have to be even. They don't have to be the same width apart. I'm just going to go around and with my Christmas pencil draw some circular shapes, and this is just going to be in the background just to kind of give it a fun look. All right. And I might even come in later and do a little slope, like a little snow slope at the bottom. I don't know. Okay. So something like that is going to be my background, and I'm going to alternate. So the background color, I want it to be wintry. I want it to be kind of fun. I got some new paints today. I went and checked out the Craftsmart, and I noticed they had new shiny labels, so that was kind of fun. It kind of caught my eye. And see, look at the comparison if I could show you. Oh, I don't have an old one, but they were a little dull. So I got a couple new colors. So I think I'm going to do a little alternating, so every other one. So I'll do a light blue and then the periwinkle, whatever these are called, blue cloud. And it is periwinkle. I just titled that periwinkle myself because that's what it looked like, a bluish purple. All right, so let me get some colors in my palette, and then I'm just going to pick out from my favorite brushes here which one I want to use to fill these circles in. Now remember, you always want to shake these. They tend to settle, so when they've been sitting on the shelf for a while in the upright position, they get a little bit of the clear, watery stuff at the top, and then the paint is stuck at the bottom. So you do have to shake these quite a bit before you use them, and then they'll be ready to go. But if you don't shake them, you'll notice you get a little bit of clear goo coming out instead of your nice colors. So it just will come out sheer. You can paint with it. It's not going to mess anything up, but it's just going to come out a little sheer. Well, I picked out some brushes I want to use. And I think for the background, I probably want to use this one right here. Just a nice little kind of a watercolor brush. So we'll set those aside. We might get to those later. And then we'll just alternate between these two. So we'll start in the middle. It's kind of easy to paint on wood because you typically only need to do one coat unless you're doing a really light color. I'll just go and do the next one right here. So unless you're doing a really light color like white or yellow, you might need to do a couple coats of those. But with these nice colors, I think one coat will be enough. All right, so we just go around. Remember, I don't care if they are perfectly round. I just want them to be circular to give it the look of maybe like a sun or a moon back there. That's just got these little rays coming off of it. All right, so we just keep going around and around with these, and then we'll go in between with the lighter color blue. All right, there you have it. So that's all periwinkle. And I don't really want these to be, I'm going to wash my brush. Look at this grimy old cup that I used. I've had this one for so long. I'll use it until I get a hole in the bottom and it springs a leak. So I don't really want these circles to have a very drastic look. Like right now, the contrast between the color of the wood and the color of the periwinkle is it's kind of more than what I want. So I want the colors to be more kind of closely related and a little harder to tell that those are two different colors because I just want it to be a very subtle, very slight, almost swirly background there. It doesn't really matter that there's a circle there, and the way this is going to look with the tree on top covering that area is going to kind of look like a swirl. So you could do a swirl, you could do circles. But now I'm going to go in between with this subtle, slight change in the color. And remember, because this is just kind of fun, oh, this might need another coat. This is just kind of a fun look, and we don't have to make it look perfect. So I don't even care if I'm staying in the lines. I do want to cover all the wood color. I don't want to see that, but I don't have to worry too much if I am, going outside my lines at all. That is fine. maybe come back and do another coat here and there wherever I want to. And usually when I do a canvas painting, I always say to do the edges. I mean, like this area right here where my pinky is. But on this, because it's wood, I think it's kind of cool to leave the wood look on the side. And you could even paint something different on the back. So sometimes you might want to do a Christmas scene on one side, and then maybe, I don't know, maybe the other side is like a Thanksgiving scene or something different. So that way you get use out of both sides, and you can just flip it around and you keep the decoration hanging on your door. Just put a different design on the back. All right, with this all done, I'll be right back. I'm going to go kind of blow it dry, kind of get this to where the whole surface area, I can kind of rub my hand all over it and it won't get any paint on me, so I'll be right back. Okay, all dry. And now I need to get my pencil in here and try to map out where I want this funky little Christmas tree looking thing. I also decided I want a little snow slope at the bottom. So I'm going to do a little bit of white. This is just, oh, there we go. Here's a difference in their nice little label change. I like that. Looks better with the shine. So I'm going to do some white, a little snowy slope at the bottom. And then I'm going to go over it with this really cool metallic pearl color. So just give it a little shine. So I'm not going to do anything too crazy, just a little slope, just like a little high part, a little low part. There we go. And I think this covers pretty well. I don't think I'll really need to worry about a second coat. This looks really good. And I really like the idea of doing something different on the back. I would really encourage that. You could even do it on a canvas if you're using a board canvas. Only thing is, on the back of a board canvas is paper. It's a paper backing. So you may need something like some flow medium or something, some blend medium, maybe just to thin your paint out to make it flow a little bit, because you're going to run into the issue of you know, your paint just kind of skidding along on the paper, and it does kind of tend to wrinkle up a little bit. But sometimes it's fun. You just have a painting you want to try out. You're not too crazy about it, but you want to do something fun on the back, so you can use that little space there. You can't do it on a stretch canvas, so that'd be kind of weird. Okay, blow this dry, do the little shine over it with our pearly paint here, which just looks really cool. Not by itself though, it comes out a little sheer if you do it by itself. That's why I have to do white underneath, but it will look really neat. Right, pearly finish on this. I'm having trouble deciding if I want the tree to also have a metallic finish. I wouldn't use the pearl. I would use like a shiny green over the green. Not sure yet. I could always come in later with some glitter and just shine up the trees a little bit. Or I thought about maybe adding some dimensional something to it, like maybe a little, you know, like a bell or some sequins maybe as the little ornaments on there. But that's really cool. See, that shine is how it's going to stay. So our paint, it kind of stays a little flat when it's dry, but this will have that nice shine the whole time. Okay, we're going to take our pencil. We're going to draw the tree somewhere in the middle, which is why I decided to use this longer piece of a board, because I wanted a tree that could be kind of tall and skinny. So I want it to have a curve. I know that. Let's just kind of say that's going to be the top of our tree. Kind of map this out. And keep them long, keep them narrow. Have that side up there. Okay, a little crooked. That's what makes it fun. That's what makes it kind of kooky. A little bit like, you know, I don't know, Dr. Seuss-esque. Something like that. And then that'll be the whole tree. And then it'll have its little stem. Right, and then maybe it'll be in a bucket. So down here, we'll just kind of figure that out later. Okay, so we know where our tree is going to be. We're not going to do any Sharpie just yet, but we need to figure out, we're alternating some colors here. So what kind of greens are we doing? Are we doing super dark green with the super light green? Are we doing these greens together? Or are we doing the dark and the medium? So what are we doing here? I don't know. Or are we doing all three? We have 1, 2, 3 pieces of tree. Heck, let's do all three. I think we'll just do some ombre here. So we got a little bit of the light green for the top, some medium green for the middle, and then the dark green for the bottom. These have already been pre-shook, so I know that these paints are ready to go. All right, I'm gonna use my same favorite brush for this part as well. So here's this right here. Because of what I plan to do with my little Posca paint marker later, I'm going to outline these so it's got a nice bold black line. I don't have to worry so much about, you know, making these super solid or perfectly in their lines, because I just need the shape pretty much of a little triangle, and that's all I need. Okay, that's my light green. wash my brush in between or my colors will come out too light. And here's my medium green. Well, that's a nice green, a little Kelly green, very Christmassy. Sometimes I can't decide on a green, but I do like the look of several different shades of green together. I don't know, but I know it kind of becomes kind of like a St. Patty's Day look, but it still looks really good together. All right, careful with some of your rough spots of wood. I went ahead and used this little sanding block earlier to soften the edges, because where they cut it at Lowe's, their saw always leaves a little jagged edge, and so it ends up being a little rough, and so I don't get splinters, and also it's a little unpleasant to paint on a rough surface, so I always like to sand the edges, just the cut side. That's all you have to do. You never have to sand, you know, the flat parts. Those are already flat and soft and smooth, so... But you do want to kind of get rid of those little splintery areas. Okay, now down here, dark green. Well, I wonder if this will need another coat. I don't really like this super dark green by itself, but with the other greens it works. It looks good. I might even come in later and kind of dab some snow on here. I don't know yet. Okay. And this big brush is kind of fun for stuff like this because, remember, because it has that little thin part at the top, a little point that it comes to, you can get into the little corners, but you've also got the part where if you press hard, it kind of comes out nice and wide, so you get a wider stroke, and it's really kind of useful for a lot of different things. Okay, gotta redo that little edge there. Nice, kind of clean that edge up. Okay. I think we can see now that our top might need another coat, so I will go ahead and do that. Get some brown for our stem. Figure out how we're going to decorate this guy. Okay, our stem, we got a nice dark brown for that. I'm worrying so much because I know that I'm going to go over it with a paint marker to kind of seal up all the edges and give us that nice, neat little line edge on everything. Just need it to have a little stem. And I don't know, is it going in a bucket or is it just planted in the snow? I can't figure it out. I kind of like it just in the snow like that. Just maybe a little bit longer. Yeah, kind of a long, skinny stem. That looks good with something like this. Yeah, and we'll just plant it in the snow. That's all. That's what we'll do. Okay. I'm going to blow this guy dry. And I'll come back and I'm going to outline with my paint marker. Okay, so here we go, nice and dry. And here's the trick. Here's what I'm going to go and do. Now, sometimes your marker can skip a little bit on the wood, so just be patient with it and go slow. But I want to make this end really curly, so I'm just going to sort of right near the edge. I'm not going to worry about staying right on it, but something like that. All right, got our little curly side, but then watch how cool this is. We're just gonna, that's so cute. All right, and same deal here, with your little curlies, and you might decide later, you know, you're gonna add some little ornaments of some type. Maybe you're gonna hot glue something on there. Super easy to do that later if you decide you want that. Or as you find something cute to put on there, you could do it. And look at that, a little curl. I think I'll put a little rounded thing on there. Yeah, that's really good. I probably do want a star up there later, so I want to do something with that. And then, you know, your stem, just kind of outline that. Maybe you can do some little ridges in it. It's as simple as that. That's really cute. It's really easy. Come in later, maybe you do your little, you can even use paint markers. You know, you got a whole bunch of colors. You could do your little ornaments with something like that. You could add some glitter on here. You could put some kind of snow, tap a little snow along the edge. This is a really fun one. This was super easy. I like the look of the swirl in the background. It's just kind of subtle. That's all I want. Just a little subtle swirly background that looks kind of fun. And we got the wintry look because of the blue, the snow with the shine, and then just a cute little Christmas tree.